Hello. My name is Bekah, and I am so excited to be doing this video today and introducing myself. You can catch me on Instagram at healthy all day long. And yeah, I'm just gonna do just like a brief introduction to who I am, how I got into this industry of health and well-being, what I do, and yeah, and just kind of like how I got into this passion and love for all things health, fitness, and mindset. Yeah, so let's take it back to probably like 9-10 years ago is when I first started getting into fitness. My initial reason for getting into fitness, honestly, was because I was super unhappy with what I was looking at in the mirror. I was so self-conscious. I didn't have any confidence in myself. I just like wanted to change the way that I looked so bad. Like for me, it was like I want to tone up, I want to lose weight, I want to get definition, and ultimately I was just unhappy with who I was as a person, and yeah, just had this like desire to change who I was. I had no self-love or anything like that, and it was just this just this journey of like trying to burn calories and change the way that I was looking. I was also struggling with depression at the time when I first got into exercise. So for me, my gym was also, or me going to the gym was also like an outlet. It was my happy place. It was like the place that made me feel good. You get the endorphins running, and it was a combination of like, the reason I started going to the gym is because I wanted to change who I was, but I kind of ultimately found that the gym made me feel good and that I got these endorphins, and it was really great. But the thing is, I found that when I first started, it was like I would start a new program, like a new workout program, a new workout schedule, some sort of challenge that I'd found on Instagram or something, and I would be really excited to start this new thing, but I could never stick to it. Like, it was like this constant battle of like just like falling off the wagon all the time, and or like if it was like an Instagram challenge, it would be like 2 weeks and I could do it for 2 weeks, but that wasn't enough time for me to like build habits. It wasn't enough time for me to like actually stick to it, and when it was over, it was like, okay, well, now what? And I would always fall off the wagon, and I would go through these phases of being like really good and really excited and really motivated about my health and fitness journey, and then I would stop and I would give up and I would quit, and I would just be going through these cycles. And I just remember feeling so frustrated and so fed up, like, when you're starting another workout program, it was like, oh well, I'm back at it again, and like I said, I would be really motivated when I was starting, and I'd be like, yes, this is it, but it never was. Or I'd be like, oh, this time it's going to be different, like it's a different workout program, but it was never different, right? And I constantly annoyed myself. I constantly just would get so frustrated, and I got to a point where I decided it was I was going to do what it takes to find out how to stay consistent. I wanted to know what it took. I was so fed up, I was so annoyed, and I was like, I'm just going to take this into my own hands, and that was the turning point for me. That was the point where I was like, okay, I'm just going to learn what it takes, and I did the research, I did the work. I was when I first got into fitness, I was studying psychology and counselling at the time. I always wanted to help people, so I was studying psychology, and I learned things in my psychology degree that I still kind of use now, like the psychology behind habits and routine and things like that. I then went on to become a certified personal trainer and fitness instructor, and I took tools from that and I took knowledge from that to kind of like build into my own routine. I hired my own trainers and learned from professionals. And then at this point it was like, okay, I'm really enjoying what I'm learning, and I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing from my own results. I want to go out and I want to help others with it. So I invested in my own mentors, with like mindset and things like that. Like, I knew that if I wanted to help others, I would have to invest in myself as well. Over the years, I have done so much personal development and so much personal growth work. Yeah, it's been like, I've spent like 7-8 years learning what it took to become consistent and to stick to the workout routines and stick to all of the things. And then I started to implement what I learned. So I started to implement the things that I'd learned from my degree, the things I learned from becoming a personal trainer and getting certified in that, learning from other professionals in the industry, and I just started implementing, and it was trial and error to see what worked for me. Everyone is different, and yeah, like I said, it took me like 7 years to learn everything, and like I'm still learning now, but yeah, it took me like 7 years to learn what worked for me. And what works for other people. Like, I work with clients now to help them become consistent and help them stop falling off the wagon. And yeah, and then I launched like test groups and things like that with other people and gained feedback from them. And then I can reflect it even more, and it was like, okay, what's worked here, what's worked here, what's worked with this person, what's worked with this person, and it was just this constant like, took what I learned, implemented it, and reflected, and I repeated these steps until it became who I was, and until it became like helping my clients become that consistent as well. So like, I am the most consistent I have ever been in my life. And like, you know, I don't even think to call it consistent now, because it's just my lifestyle. It's just who I am as a person, which was always the goal. It was always the goal to just like wake up in the morning and not even think about it. Like, my morning routine every day is something that I was like striving for, and like that I would always struggle to stick to. I get my fundamental habits in every single day. So my fundamental habits and the fundamental habits that I teach my clients is, you know, getting some form of exercise in every day, filling your days with gratitude and doing some sort of gratitude practice, meditating every single day, and doing some form of personal development. Those for me are the fundamental habits. And yeah, and then I continue to grow every single day. I feel so like blessed that I get to live like a balanced lifestyle, and I'm not like super focused on one area. Like, I'm not super focused on like finding the perfect workout routine. I'm not super focused on when I'm going to get my workouts in. It's just like I live this balanced life now. I don't feel overwhelmed all the time. I found like this routine that works for me, and like, you know, if my life changes, I can adapt. Before, if something came up in the day, if something unexpected happened and I couldn't stick to my routine, it would just throw me off, and like I would just like be like, well, that's it, like what's the point in continuing? Whereas now it's like I've shifted my mindset to be able to be like, okay, cool, like I can just like adapt, and I'm no longer frustrated all the time. I'm no longer fed up with myself for giving up and just like going through the cycle again. Like, I'm no longer going through this like on the wagon, off the wagon cycle. I'm no longer fed up of not getting any results. That was a big thing. Like, I would do these like programs, but because I wasn't consistent, I wasn't getting any results. So yeah, I'm like no longer constantly like starting over again and going from one thing to the next. It's like, now I've seen the results that I want to see. Now I show up every single day. Now I am confident in who I am as a person, and I love myself and I love my body, and it's like, very refreshing to have that feeling and to be able to look back and be like, wow, look how far I've come. Like going back through old journal entries and being like, wow, that was the mindset that I was in now, and this is like how I feel. That's the mindset I was in then. This is how I feel now, and it's just like really cool to feel like that. And you know, it's like even if I have hard days now, it's like it's not even a question. It feels incredible, and yeah, it just gets me so excited when I'm able to like look back and like see how far I've come from this girl who was just like so fed up, so frustrated, to having this like sense of like pride almost, like wow, like I know how much hard work that I have gone through to get here. Like if I could tell my younger self like, keep going, you've got this, like you're doing the right things, I would, because you know, it would feel a whole lot less daunting doing that if I knew that, okay, this is the right thing, this is what I'm doing, like I'm learning these things, right? And yeah, now this is like what I get to teach others, and seeing other people change their lives and do this through what I have learned and what I can share with them, and not having to spend 7 years learning all of the things, and just yeah, it's just really incredible. So yeah, this is who I am, this is me, and it's lovely to meet you. I'd love to connect with any of you who kind of resonate with my story, and maybe you have been on and off the wagon and are fed up with yourself. I feel you. I completely kind of yeah, connect with where you're at, and I would love to connect and just chat and just connect really. So thank you for having me on here, and I will speak to you all soon.